More? With more people? We appreciate your patience.
Are there any laps available? We need people places to sit.
You gotta watch it this it's not like it's like you get it. It's like
How about anyone who's sitting next to an empty seat, raise their hand?
Someone better just run here right now.
Did I just mess up a bunch of stuff? Are there any? Okay, it looks like we do have a vacant seat right here if anybody wants to fight over it. And try and get there quickly. Someone back there raised their hand like, I want the seat, and it's like, I can't get you there.
What's stopping it? There's a free seat right here. Someone...
This guy got it, so...
There's still a seat right there. There you go.
I'm just trying to get a fight, I guess. Somebody saving this seat right here?
Yeah.
Really, buddy? Who's coming? When are they going to be here? Can you turn around and explain to all these people standing why they're in that seat more than them? Hey, if this person does come, you got to get up. Let me handle it. Is everyone that's sitting happy, and is everyone that's standing like unhappy and uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Good. Who is excited about The Walking Dead coming back February? I was trying to do a joke. I said February 18th, but it actually comes out on the 12th. But you guys were cheering over my 18th. And when I came back, I was going to go, well, it's actually the 12th. But,
Do I even need to introduce you at this point? Yeah, alright, so I'm not even here anymore, but my name is Sina. I edit the comic books.
oh, should we start?
Should we start? Yeah, we're starting. We're on.
Good.
We're on. Alright, so I edit the Walking Dead comic books. This man writes them and also works on the TV show version. And then this is my first time meeting Chandler Riggs.
Do you know who this guy is at all? Yeah, Chandler has no idea. This is Sina Grace. He's the editorial director at Skybound. He acts as the editor on all of the Skybound titles, including The Walking Dead. So if you've ever noticed a typo in The Walking Dead, it's technically his fault. It's his fault because he didn't find it. So that's how that works. And then, you know, he does the letters column stuff, so we crack jokes in the back. You guys never read the letters column. Anybody?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a very small applause. There's like people over there. No one else. But it's probably because you all watch the show and don't read the comic. But that's okay.
No.
I'm fine with that. Save me, Sina.
Yeah, alright, so here's how it's going to work. I'm going to ask like 2 questions, and then we're leaving the rest of this conversation to you guys. So I would say if there's a little row right here, start lining up if you want to ask questions, because this hour is for you guys. I'm going to ask the question that is dumb, but everyone wants to ask it, so let's get it out of the way. Can you say anything that's coming up for The Walking Dead?
I will be evasive, hopefully entertainingly evasive for the entirety of the panel. I can say there's awesome stuff coming. Awesome. Chandler, would you agree? Are there awesome things coming up in the second half? Sure. Can you agree with Can you agree with somewhat more enthusiasm?
Nope.
Seriously.
Well, that'd be more me, so more me.
Yeah.
We just told him that. He hasn't seen the episodes yet. But, just kidding. He's going to fire me after this. But, we left the show in a hopefully fairly interesting place. Has anyone not seen the last episode of the first half of the season? You're screwed. All right. Basically, we come back from that, and there's a lot of tension and exciting stuff. There's like 2 guys in here, so I'm going to be vague. Screw it. So Sophia comes out of the barn, and Rick shoots her, and it's it's a big moment. And who did I ruin it for?
I just
Anybody?
lost 3 viewers. Nice job.
Awesome too. I don't know. The guy that's waving his hand looks like a nice guy, so if you're gonna go for it. But Herschel and Rick and the group are kind of at odds when we come back, and a lot of tension is there. And then there's actually some new threats that are thrown into the mix, aside from the zombies and aside from the conflict between Herschel's group and Rick's group. And there's going to be some pretty awesome stuff. I don't want to spoil anything. There was a teaser that was online, a few clips and stuff, and it did include a car crash. So there's like a car crash coming up. That's pretty awesome. Who's in that car? What's the result of that? How did they crash? This is all things you're going to want to know. So I definitely recommend you come back. It's on February 12th, Sunday nights. I want to say 9 p.m. On AMC. It's probably written on the thing behind me, so I don't know what it's saying. But it's cool stuff. So right now I'm playing a game where I try to talk without any kind of break for as long as possible to prevent Chandler from talking. So that's what I'm making you guys aware of that.
So why don't you tell us about your experience? I mean, it's been a crazy year for you.
It's
and
been
Kirkman.
crazy. Things that have happened to me. My son did this thing the other day.
Well, it's just been amazing, and I mean everybody's so nice except Robert, and it's just amazing, and the writers too. I mean, I gotta give credit to them; they're amazing as well, and I mean.
What are their names? I'm just kidding. So, no, I mean the writers are. We got Glenn Mazzara, Scott Gimple, Evan Riley, Angela Kane. Fantastic people.
Let's say that.
Working on. You know their names. You've hung out with them. I'm just messing with you. But so Scott has blonde hair, and Scott Gimple is the one that wears the sweater vest set. I'm gonna stop.
But you have, I mean, like, you're famous now. You have security, you have paparazzi following you out of bars, like.
The funny thing was that yesterday, when I got to Arizona, my mom emailed my dad and said, I live in a cul-de-sac, and a car came down the cul-de-sac and they parked in front of my neighbor's house. And a bunch of girls came out with like bunny hats on, and they went over and knocked on my neighbor's door, and then they went and knocked on my other neighbor's door, and then they turned around and was like, there it is, there's Chandler Riggs' house, and then so apparently it was like a scavenger hunt to find, or for somebody's birthday, to find my house with bunny hats on. And so that was weird. I didn't see it though, so that's, I guess it's good.
I mean, are you going to? Do you go to regular school? Or are you now like? Do you get schooled on set? Get schooled on set.
Well, I used to go to public school. Now I'm homeschooled because last year it did not work out. My teachers were. I can't say anything negative.
They're asking for spoilers.
Please.
Well, they weren't very supportive. Like, my science teacher was like giving me every single bit of busy work and homework and just stuff. So now I'm homeschooled, and it's so easy because it's all online. You guys may know it as the Arizona Virtual Academy. And it's all. But for me, it's Georgia Cyber Academy. But it's the same thing, and that's what I do now.
But you feel like you're getting a good education.
Yes.
That's what's important.
I'm running low on icebreaker questions, so please start lining up. Like, I didn't intend to talk this long.
Where are we lining up for questions?
Over here, right over here. Just
this room is a little packed. You guys want to just try and yell them out? Let's see what we don't have a mic over here anyway.
All right, I'll do my job and I'll do the pointing.
Yeah.
All right. So I saw it first. You.
This is from Chandler. How geeky are you?
Well, I have an Xbox. I've been playing it for like, this is my second year, and I love zombie games. I can't wait until Walking Dead video game.
It's coming. 2012.
And I'm a big Call of Duty fan. I have like from World at War to Modern Warfare 3, from Call of Duty 4 to Modern Warfare 3. I have Left 4 Dead games, Dead Island.
What about Resident Evil?
No, well I played the demo for Resident Evil 5, but I didn't know when the release date was, so I didn't.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I heard, and then but the thing was that the talking zombies. That was weird.
Technically different kinds of zombies. I mean,
There's a zombie with a chainsaw. That's
zombie with a chainsaw, their heads split open, they turn into big monsters.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
No, I know. I've played the demo.
Gamer tag.
Do not give them your gamer tag.
But I have like, I just got Skyrim.
Oh.
I knew that would happen. But yeah, I got to play it like once, but it's like awesome. But
Do you want to play it right now?
yes, yes. But yeah, I have a bunch of other games. So you could say I'm geeky. I don't read a lot of comic books. I read. Wait. Okay. I read Walking Dead. I do read Walking Dead. I finished volume 14. I'm not caught up with 91 and 92 yet.
You just picked up volume 15 here at the show.
Yep.
I charged him. I didn't charge him.
No.
How old are you?
12? Yeah, 12. And I read like a couple of the new versions of Green Lantern. Yeah.
So I saw, zombie in the gray shirt in the back, the girl. Zombie
How's
girl.
it like working with Andrew, for both of you guys? Andrew Lincoln.
It's hard when I'll let him answer because he spends a lot more time with them than I do. But I will say that it's hard to be in his presence because of his dreamy eyes.
Well, I mean, in the next few episodes that you guys will see, mainly in the last episode, it's mostly me and him. And I can't really say much more, but he's just an amazing actor, and I mean, it's great getting to work with him too. And he's been in Love Actually, Teacher, and a bunch of other things, and he's just an amazing actor.
Get someone from that side, you with the two kids.
Mr. Kirkman, is it aggravating that like some of the main stuff, like Shane still being alive and that, does that aggravate you that they don't stick more closer to the comics?
I mean, not at all. Partly because, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm somewhat of a big reason that kind of stuff happens because I'm in the writer's room and I wrote the comic, so I did all these stories, and so I'm really the guy in the writer's room sitting there that you guys hate because I'm the guy that's like, let's kill Rick, that'll be weird, right? I don't care, let's do it. Don't tell any of the other actors I said
I'm emailing him now.
Yeah. So like I'm in the room like, let's introduce this guy, and then he'll be in like an episode and then he just dies, and the fans will be like, oh, they finally brought this guy into the show, that's awesome, oh my god, he's dead. And they'll be like, whoa, this show is crazy. So like that's the stuff I really enjoy about the TV show, is being able to sit back and go, I wrote the Shane story. This is how the Shane story goes in the comic book. But you know, when I was writing that, it was a number of years ago. I liked the way that worked in the comic. I could do it exactly the same way, but to me, one of the most appealing things about the Walking Dead comic is that when you sit down to read an issue, you have no idea what's going to happen. You know, anyone could die at any moment. The status quo could change just on a dime, and I think that's really exciting. And I want to maintain that for the show, even for people that are very familiar with the comic. So I'm always pushing to change things, but at the same time, like I know that there are things that are fundamental to The Walking Dead that if you don't do that, it's not The Walking Dead. And so the challenge is to adapt the story in a way that adapts the story but keeps it interesting to an audience that's already read it. And the best example I can come up with for, you know, us doing that and it actually working really well is spoiler alert for the premiere of season 2, which is out, you guys have already seen it, is this guy getting shot at the end of that episode. That happened in the comic. It was Otis that did it, and it led them to Herschel's farm. That's the exact same story. But everything that led up to that moment was so different that the second you heard that gunshot, it was still a huge shock. And so that's really what we're going for in the show. Sometimes things won't be adapted very closely, like the Shane storyline. But it's always going to come back to the comic, and there's always going to be things from the comic that you guys will see in the show and be like, oh, they totally did that, that's awesome! But hopefully you won't see it coming. So that's really the way it is. So it's kind of my fault, I'm sorry.
Green shirt, brown hair.
Okay, I have 2 questions. Do they put any pressure on you to make sure that you change it, or to make it spicier for television, or better for television? And if there was a zombie apocalypse, what would be your weapon of choice?
Look, I've answered that a lot, and if you guys have heard it before, I apologize. But if there were a zombie apocalypse, I would kill myself as fast as I possibly could. Just because I wouldn't look for a weapon. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my god, a chainsaw, yeah, that'd be cool, or a sword, because it doesn't need gas or bullets, and blah, blah, blah. I would not look for a weapon, because I'm not very athletic, not very brave. I'm really not that smart when it gets down to it, I'll be honest with you. I'm not, but I'm not going to last long, you know, and I have a wife and kids that I would probably be interested in protecting, but they'd probably die pretty quickly too, like whatever. And so it would be a depressing time, and I would just get out of there, you know, like I'm not looking forward to the apocalypse if that stuff happens, and it's a terrifying thought, but I don't know, I'm just trying to be real about it. Depressing? Is it depressing at all? I don't mean to be depressing. Anyway, you had another question I wanted to answer, and I forgot it.
Did they put pressure on you?
Oh, okay. There's no pressure at all. Like the thing that happens is that, you know, I'm in a writer's room with Glenn Mazzara, who's the showrunner. You know, I'm not the showrunner, so he's the guy that's actually like working with the actors, going on set, running the writer's room. He's the boss of the show. I don't think he could fire me, but whatever. So I'm in the room with him and, you know, 5 other writers. And so there's no pressure to change the show and make the show more interesting, but, you know, the comic is there, and everyone has read the comic, and everyone likes the comic, at least they tell me that. And I'm there, but there's so many other brains in the room that have good ideas. Like, that's what drives the show. There's never any mandates, there's never any pressure, there's never any, like, you should do this, you should not do that. Like, we don't really hear from the network until we pitch our ideas to them, and then they're very thoughtful and really cool about, like, suggesting things, but really letting us do our own thing and trying to create a good show. But, I mean, there's just a lot of brains in the mix and a lot of cool suggestions, but there's never any kind of pressure to do anything.
Chandler, what's your weapon?
Oh, yeah, he's got a really good answer.
You guys,
He's way better than me at this.
If you guys haven't seen my answer at the New York Comic Con, it's a flamethrower with a bayonet.
Yeah.
You've had your hand up.
Robert, I wanted to ask, like, people always, like, I love the comic, and people always ask, like, should I read the comic? And so, and I say, it's kind of like,
yes.
Well, yeah, and I say, it's kind of like a parallel universe compared to the show, because, like, you just do different stuff than what ends up happening in the show. And it's like a whole different version. Would you say that's a good answer for people that read it?
So, I mean...
Like, because things that happen in the show don't happen in the comic book and vice versa.
Yeah, the idea is that, to a certain extent, yeah, the show is going to spoil the comic a little bit if you've already watched the show and haven't read the comic and you decide to read the comic, and vice versa. There are going to be some things that will happen that you saw in the comic, but they are meant to be enjoyed together. You know, there are little tricks and little things that, you know, you'll get more enjoyment out of if you've been reading both of them, and you know, I don't know, like a small example is that neighborhood that Andrea and Shane go to in episode, I believe, 6, I'm going to say, that aired, I don't remember. You know, that's Wilshire Estates, you know, and you're not going to know what Wilshire Estates is if you haven't read the comic, but, you know, they go in there, they think they're safe, and then, you know, they find out that the neighborhood's full of zombies, and that's like a little Easter egg that you wouldn't really know if you hadn't read the comic. And you don't really have to read the comic if you just like the show. Like, I'm doing okay. I mean, my kids aren't starving or anything. So I'm not going to be upset if you just watch the show and you come up and you want an autograph and you don't have the comic and you never read the comic. That's totally cool. But ideally, we are trying to make it to where the stories are somewhat different so that you can enjoy both and still be surprised.
You.
I have a question for Chandler. So when you're on set, you have a father figure and a mother figure, don't you? In The Walking Dead, you have to act like these actors are your parents, and is that awkward or difficult for you at all?
Well, not really. I mean, they're so nice, you know, and they do act like they're my parents. They care for me. They ask me if I need anything, if I'm okay and stuff. And I mean, every not just them, but everybody on set is just so nice. There's not one person that I hate except Robert. Yes,
I'd like to say he's joking, but
I mean, everybody's just so nice, and not one person is like mean or a diva or something. And I mean, it's just a great environment to live, I guess, for however long the show will go on.
25 seasons.
All right, I'm gonna get her, and then we'll.
I have a question for Robert. What made you think of The Walking Dead to write it?
Well, I mean, it was basically just, yeah, I really like zombie movies. Big fan of them, the Romero movies especially. Yeah. But if I could be a little critical, every zombie movie has the same ending. You watch the characters for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then they're like, yeah, we ran out of film. Hope you like these people, you're never going to see them again. And they either ride off into the sunset, or they all die, or they take off in a helicopter, which happens a lot. It really does. Like, there's like 4 of them. Like, hey, I'm in a helicopter, whatever. So I always wanted to like write a fan fiction where like 5 helicopters from different movies land in the same place and all these characters interact. But it's like, I was in Day of the Dead, I was in Dawn of the Dead. How'd you get a helicopter? How'd you get a helicopter? But I always wanted to know like what came next and how people continue to survive in this world, because it's a really interesting problem. You know, it's people coming back to life trying to eat you. You know, that's crazy, right? So theoretically, that lasts for a long time. I mean, so civilization has crumbled, and so I wanted to do something that kind of explored that in a long-term way and watched characters grow and change over time and see how that affected people that had to live through that. And you know, I thought it'd be kind of fun, and it seemed to have worked out.
Dr. Horrible?
Yeah. You could answer this either for stuff in print or for shows. When do the infected stop eating the non-infected so that they can become zombies? Because it always seems like they swarm them and then they just totally eat them completely. I mean, how did Sophia become a relatively, seemingly unscathed zombie, where a larger zombie probably could have eaten her completely, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's always a bit of it's a bit of a story. I mean, it's like she got bit. Just, you know, just to imagine it, you know, she's in the woods, she's by herself, she gets bitten, she fights the zombie off after she's been bitten, runs away and hides, and turns into a zombie. So the zombie bit her but wasn't able to eat her completely. So basically, for a zombie to exist, you have to be bitten but not completely devoured to the point where your brain wouldn't be able to control, you know, what's left of you. You know, we have done stories. There are things like Bicycle Girl where, you know, there's been a large portion of her eaten, but because her brain is still intact, she's still around and kicking. But you just have to imagine that, you know, they just weren't completely eaten, and that's how they were able to turn into a zombie. There is a period fairly, you know, soon, as I imagine it, that the flesh, and we've shown this in the comic a lot, that the flesh, you know, stops being warm and starts to be a little necrotic, and the zombies are like, well, I don't want to eat that anymore. And so you just have to survive, the body just has to survive long enough to that period. And, you know, like the governor in the comic book is like feeding zombie bits to his zombie daughter, and like he realizes that they've been in the bucket too long and she won't eat them. So, I mean, there is like a thing, and now I'm just kind of being gross, so I apologize.
Dude in the red shirt.
How did the outbreak of the original virus start?
I have no idea. It's just not important to me. Like, that's what every movie covers.
That's the
You
best
know?
part.
Go watch those movies, is what I'd say. I like seeing, oh, I'm in the hospital and there's people that are sick, and oh my God, what are they doing? I thought that guy died. You know, like it's done to death. And so the idea of The Walking Dead is that it starts where every other zombie movie ends. You know, it's already happened. Nobody knows what's happened, and we're just kind of dealing with it. The story is about how the characters deal with the problem, not how the problem happened. And I don't know. I think that's more interesting. I mean, there's any number of scenarios you could just kind of pick. But go ahead, just ask me another question. You seem interested.
Will Walking Dead ever be on the big screen?
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. No plans as of yet. I mean, I'm just happy that it's on the small screen. All right, you pick a question. There's too much pressure.
You. Yeah, you just put your hand up.
Okay. This question for Robert. Are you going to bring in a new love interest for Chandler now that Sophia's out of the picture?
I already have a girlfriend.
Well, I don't know that Sophia was necessarily a love interest. I mean, they are kids. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I definitely don't want it to be a childrenless environment, so there will always be new characters, you know, coming into the series here and there. It's just child actors are just really hard to deal with. It's just very. He's looking at me.
Well, I mean, Madison grew like 7 inches during the off season, so. That's what happened with her, right?
we gotta move on. It's getting scandalous.
Hey, Chandler, don't get tall. No, I mean, I do. That had nothing to do with it. I mean, I've even said before, like, because people ask about you a lot. They ask me, they're like, well, how long are you gonna keep Carl on the show? That kid's just gonna get bigger. Then you're just gonna have the Walt problem. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Like, I was watching Lost, and I was like, if Walt was suddenly a foot taller, like, you'd have an episode where you're like, okay, that kid looks different. And then by episode 2, you're like, yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. So you know, I mean, don't get like 9 feet taller.
Well, I mean, the thing was that every time I was in a scene,
you're just mad because the girl was taller. But in your age group, that's how it works. The girls hit a growth spurt earlier than boys do, and so there is that awkward period where the girls are actually taller and stronger and faster and meaner. So it's, I lived through it. I'm just trying to help you out, man. Stick with me, man. I'll learn you right. You can do your Arizona robot learning, but.
Carl evolve into the badass kid we know in the comics?
It's important to point out that it is an evolution. You know, it's not something that happened overnight. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but that evolution picks up soon.
It just picks up. How about that? I'm not going to say when or how. It picks up.
Lady with the camera.
Do you guys notice that Daryl uses the same arrow for like to kill a zombie, then to kill his food, then it goes in his side? You guys ever notice that?
He's washing them. Look, a lot of people say a lot of things about Norman Reedus. He is very hygienic. And so are his characters.
The guy doing this.
Good question.
All right.
You know, actually, I'm just going to tell a little anecdote because it's funny. Maybe, I don't know. But I was on set and we wrote in an episode that Daryl was running low on arrows. And he came up to me and he was like, I don't know if you're paying attention or not, but I've had four arrows since the very start of the show. They always show me getting the arrow back, and I always have 4 arrows. So you guys made a mistake. And I was like, yeah, scratch that one. It's like one of the only things I've ever done on set, but it sounds like I'm really involved. He was just criticizing me before this panel started. He was like, why don't you ever come to set? Like, what's going on? Like, why aren't you ever hanging out with the actors and stuff? And I was like, I don't know. I'm busy. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I'm not busy. All right.
Busy watching TV.
So let's just keep chatting. Who else has a question?
All right, so the 2 questions I have for you. First off, one of the things that I read that surprised me was the reaction to Sophia getting killed, that people were upset that a child got killed, and I reminded one of my friends that you didn't even get 5 minutes into the show, and a kid got killed.
It's a very child-killing show.
What is the reaction to killing children on the show? And then my second question is, why does Rick give a gun to everyone he meets? It's like a blockbuster car.
He's got a lot of guns. there's not a lot of other gifts around, so I gotta give somebody something. No, I mean, I don't know, as far as the child killing goes, I mean, it's a very harsh world, and we're trying to portray it realistically, and, you know, if this kind of thing were to happen, I mean, unfortunately, I think the children would kind of be the first to go. I mean, you know, they're you know, somewhat weak and, you know, not, I mean, faster than me, but not faster than like an adult that can run. But, and then I would also say, like, if you think we're killing a lot of kids in the show, you should read the comic, because I'm just like awful kids left and right. It's really like, I don't know what the hell I'm thinking half the
You
time.
almost killed me.
I might have. I'm not going to spoil anything. But I've spoiled that so many times for so many people. But anyway, sorry, I'm just rambling.
A dude with the plaid shirt sitting down in the back.
Hi, Robert. I just had a question about the governor. Now, you see, is Michael Rooker maybe going to become a governor?
I can say that I think it's very funny that like there's no end to the rumor of like, oh, Michael Rooker is going to turn into the governor, or oh my gosh, Otis is going to come back and he didn't die and he's going to be the governor. Like there's always people that are like, oh, he's going to be the governor. Like what the heck? And you know, in the comic, the governor wasn't anyone we knew. It was just a guy that they encountered. And, you know, Glenn Mazzara, the showrunner of the show, is very adamant that, you know, he likes the governor and really wants to work the governor into the show. And so I can say without a doubt that, you know, the governor will end up being in the television show. But he's not going to be Michael Rooker. You know, we're hoping to bring Michael Rooker back at some point. He's an amazing actor, and we're not going to leave, you know, storylines out there never to be resolved. So, you know, we are going to bring him in when the time is right, and when he comes back, he'll be Merle, and he'll be awesome.
So, was that scene, did you actually write that? When he was having the delusions of his brother there?
No. I mean, I was in the writer's room when we were discussing that, so I mean, it was all my idea. That's not true. It's not true at all. But no, and that scene was written by David Leslie Johnson, who was a fabulous screenwriter. Actually wrote Wrath of the Titans, which is coming out very soon. And he came in to do a freelance episode. Are you excited about Wrath of the Titans?
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty awesome, right? A lot of people like crap on the Clash of the Titans remake. Like, does anybody in here hate that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're an idiot. It's like, didn't stink? No, dude, he fights like a giant scorpion, and then he fights like a giant dragon thing, and then he flies on a Pegasus and shoots a laser, and like all the stuff that's in the previews in the movie, only it's longer. It's awesome. It's got a big snake. I don't know. I don't know what people want from movies anymore. I just want loud noises and explosions.
Red shirt dude with the cat.
How have things changed since Darren Bach left?
I'm sorry, I called you an idiot. I was just kidding. Sorry, what was that?
How have things changed since Darren Bach left?
Oh, I mean, not really a lot. I mean, you know, Darabont was, you know, he was in the writer's room, and you know, then he wasn't. I mean, it's a hard situation to discuss, you know, because I am kind of on both sides of it. But Glenn Mazzara, who's the new showrunner, you know, worked hand in hand with Darabont and myself and the writers in the writer's room, and you know, he was able to step in very seamlessly and, you know, work on the show and keep the thing running. I mean, he was entrenched in the show, you know. So what I'm trying to say is, it wasn't a new person that was brought in to replace Frank. It was somebody that everybody knew.
On the show, so
yeah. So thanks for putting me on the spot. But yeah, I mean, it's been fine. I mean, I miss the guy. You know, I had a lot of fun working with him. But you know, he's doing fine. He's doing cool stuff.
Dude with the glasses.
Hi. The Walking Dead takes place mostly in Georgia, right?
Yes.
So is
completely
there any
in Georgia, I think, so far in the show. Yeah.
Is there any plans to introduce a new batch of characters and ditch these ones for a while, like somewhere in Europe or I don't know anywhere else in the U.S.?
Here's what's going on in France kind of thing.
Or like in the comics, go back.
No, I mean, I don't know. I think The Walking Dead is about these characters. I think that it's their story, and there have been times where I've been, you know, thinking about like, oh, it would be kind of interesting to show, like, you know, what's going on in Colorado in the mountains and how they're dealing with it. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know, I like that it's focused on this story and these characters, and I kind of fell in love with the idea of only encountering other people through these people's eyes. So we will always be bringing in new people and new characters, and they will have stories of what's going on in other areas. I mean, Abraham's group that comes in and like the late 50s, early 60s of the comic book series, like they came from, you know, the Texas area, and they had some stories about what happened there, but we only experienced that stuff through the character's eyes, and I think that's kind of cool, so, I don't know.
Well, that's kind of relates to, well, Darabont had this idea of the opening of the second season. I was talking to Robert about this earlier, and the opening of the second season would be following in the tank walker. In the very first episode of the first season, the walker that Rick shot in the head in the tank, they were going to follow him around and what happened and everything, but that didn't come around and stuff. But I guess that kind of is.
Yeah, I mean, there were some plans to do some side stories like that, but, you know, whether or not we'll actually do that stuff, I don't know.
That little Sophia zombie.
Don't spoil it again.
Why didn't the guy's brother, when he sawed off his hand, why didn't he just saw the chain off?
I agree with the question.
Hold on. Can you say that in a sweeter, okay, is this your mother standing there? Where are your parents? What is wrong with you? How old is she?
She was a science experiment.
You didn't turn your phone off?
I thought I would teach her to not fear TV at a young age,
Okay,
and it worked. Although she'll never cry at a story now, I kind of created a monster.
Well, I mean, that's what.
If you've seen the movie Saw, it's actually easier. It's easier to saw through flesh than it is through metal. So he cut his own hand off. He's a crazy guy.
Well, I agree with her completely. Is that the thing? We were me and my dad were.
He's going to be critical of the show. I can feel it.
Me and my dad were watching, and when he was like kicking, when he was kicking at the pipe, you could see the tiny little pipe that was chained. But the handcuffs got hooked onto it, and it seems like he could have like pulled that off or something.
Movie magic, movie magic, man.
All right, dude with his hair parted down the middle.
Yeah, I wasn't there on set.
I saw you guys did the Breaking Bad homage. What was up with that? The little tribute?
The Blue Meth?
Yeah.
Oh, that was just a fun thing. I mean, it's an AMC show, and we were trying to find like drug props. And I think it was actually Darabont's idea to call over to AMC and see if we could get some of that fantastic blue meth. It really is the best blue meth. I mean, it's the best meth. It really is. I know you guys are from Arizona, which is near New Mexico, so I would assume there's a lot of meth here because I watch Breaking Bad. I learn everything from television, but I will just say that it seemed like a fun thing to do. I mean, we're going to have some Mad Men stuff in the new episodes coming up.
To the lady I spoiled the book for.
Thank you. I have two questions. Why can't animals get the disease? And for Chandler, is it hard for you to play your character since it's so completely different from anything that happens in real life?
Well, Carl is actually a lot like me. I mean, other than the video game part, it's I mean, it's not that. I mean, he's it's. I'm sorry. It's.
Do you want Robert to answer his question?
Yes.
I'm not gonna. Do tell me what your question was. I don't remember.
Animals.
Oh, animals. Look, I don't know. I'm like 99.9% sure that communicable diseases don't transfer between animals and people, and so I was just kind of following that rule. And I don't know. Like, I don't really like zombie animals. It's not really what? That's a mutation. That's like a long process that happens over time. So. I don't know anything about science. What do you want from me? But no, I mean, I don't know. It's zombie animals. Rebel Blood, new Image book. It's got zombie animals in it from the promos that I've seen. I don't really know a lot about the book, but it looks really awesome. I would highly recommend you check that new comic book out. It's got zombie animals in it, Walking Dead doesn't, which I guess makes it somewhat inferior, but I don't really know what to tell you. Are you ready?
Sure.
You want to move on and act like that question wasn't asked? Because we can do that. They won't even notice. All right, next question. Great. See how easy that is?
I know you guys been asked this question a lot, like, who's your favorite character besides yourself, but I haven't heard what Chandler's was. So, what's your favorite character besides you in the TV show and in the comic?
Daryl.
Yeah?
He's my favorite character. Definitely. I mean, he's awesome with the crossbow and stuff, but, yeah.
He's also awesome with his heart.
That works too.
Robert?
Oh, I don't pick favorites. I hate them all. No, I have to kill all these characters eventually, so I don't want to admit that I do like a lot of them, because then you might think like, well, that guy's safe, because he's not. I don't know, like some of my favorites that are already dead, like Tyrese and Axel, I think I've mentioned that, I really regret. I don't regret killing them because I like killing characters. It makes the story better, and it's good to have that loss in the story, Like, I feel like it's a good thing if I'm going, oh, I don't get to write that guy anymore, that sucks. Because then hopefully the readers are also going, I don't get to read that guy anymore? Like, oh. And it's kind of heartbreaking, but I don't know. I mean, I like them all, but it doesn't prevent me from savagely murdering them, story-wise. So.
You got your hand up. I'm trying to get like everyone on every side, so I apologize. But...
Oh yeah, this is for both of them. How was it to work with Greg Nicotero?
I'll turn that off.
It's my dad. Well, I mean, it's...
We say hi? One speaker.
Tell him you're working. Dad. Everybody's laughing.
Hi,
It's like, what is it, an Apple box or like people yell?
What do you need? Say it again, sir. Yeah.
Don't let them know you treat me that way, sir.
That was wrong.
How much longer is this panel going to go?
4 hours.
We're leaving. It's not.
No, we're going to let it go.
5 minutes, 10 minutes. Tell your dad to hold his horses. This is what is involved in the process of doing the show. You gotta talk to these people.
5, 10 minutes.
This is a disaster.
Love you, Dad. Lots and lots.
No, wait. It'll be over in like 5, 10 minutes. Bye, Dad.
Bye, Dad.
Bye, Dad.
Bye, Dad.
Alright, bye.
Tell your dad you love him?
I'll tell him it's on my phone.
Yeah.
Tell him my answer.
Was that Rick?
All right, well, what were you asking?
Oh, Greg Nicotero. That's right. Greg Nicotero is awesome, and I can say that aside from being one of the best makeup effects guys like in the business, alongside his team at KMB, I mean, he really makes this show. The fact that the zombies look so believable. Like, if we had anyone else doing the zombies, the show would be terrible, and you would all not watch it, and I'd be getting hate mail right now. But like, the show works because of the work that he and his team put into it, and he's awesome. And I honestly can't gush enough about him. But on top of all that, he's like directing episodes now. I'm really excited. Like he's directing, I believe, our 11th episode this season. So when we come back, it'll be the 11th episode back. I don't know how to do math. But however 11 falls in, and he did a great job. Did you enjoy working with director Greg Nicotero?
He's like cool. And he's really and the actors too. The actors of the zombies as well. I mean.
Oh no, we're just talking about Greg.
All right, we've got a few minutes, so I'm gonna try to get as many as possible. You in the purple shirt.
Won't offend eventually the zombies rot and just be bones?
Yeah, I mean, eventually, you know, I think that, you know, because they're zombies, they're decaying at a slower rate, and so they will eventually rot to just bones and not be a threat, but it's happening at a slower pace than a normal body decays. But also, they're making new zombies all the time, because people keep dying, so they are replenishing their ranks, and they'll always, you know, be somewhat of a threat.
Poster hand.
Out of all the places in the U.S., why did you pick Atlanta?
Arbitrary geographic, you know, like, it was near Kentucky. Like, I live in Kentucky, and I was kind of setting the beginning of the story in Kentucky, and I was like, Atlanta's nearby. They'd probably go to Atlanta. It'd be safe there. Whatever. And then I just, you know, wrote the comic.
Thank you.
Lady doing this in the back.
You said that you finished stories like you're going to finish it with tomorrow. What about Morgan and Dwayne? Are you going to bring them back or do like a Christmas short when it gets winter in Atlanta, Georgia?
That's a good idea, but you didn't have it. Yeah, Lena James, who plays Morgan in the show, is absolutely amazing, and we hope to get him in the show as soon as possible. I mean, it's you know, it's like a story thing, you know, when it makes sense for the story, but we're definitely not going to leave that out there. You'll find out, you know, what's going on with him eventually. So.
Doing the black shirt.
Is it difficult to find the right actors for your characters?
It hasn't been so far. I mean, you know, there's a lot of good actors out there, and luckily we seem to be finding the best, except for Chandler.
Lady in the gray.
I have a question for each of you. I'm going to start from the left and go to the right. As editor, you've been doing a lot. I got that right?
Yeah. You're asking Sina a question?
Wow. All right.
As editor, like you've been editing for a while. I mean, I don't even know how many issues are out now. Do you still get excited to see what's coming up next?
Well, I've only been on for 2 years, but yeah, no.
2 years of comics is a lot too.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, we're talking about issue 100, and honestly, like, I am pumped. Yeah, like, I get excited, and he turns in scripts, and I'm like, oh shit! Well, that's what I mean. That happens.
Chandler cusses like a sailor.
You should hear my dad on the highway to get to Sonoya with rush hour traffic.
I don't think you need to make things worse between you.
I don't want to like spoil what you're going to do with the show, but are you going to bring in the
I'll spoil it.
Is the prison going to come into play, and are you going to use some of these more graphic things like twin stuff and the baby made me cry, by the way?
Yeah, look, I really can't say. All I can say is that there are fundamental things in the comic that I feel like make The Walking Dead, and so we will hit those benchmarks eventually, hopefully, if the series continues to be successful and keeps getting accepted for more and more seasons. But you know, as far as if the prison is going to show up, when the prison is going to show up, like I can't get into any kind of specifics like that, but I can say that, you know, that stuff is cool, and everybody involved in the show thinks it's cool too, so hopefully at some point.
I would think that that would be difficult, that's why I asked. Chandler, you're adorable. Are you ready for the transformation that you're going to go through? Your character is going to get very dark. I mean, I kind of cringe when I see the stuff that you go through in the comic. So are you prepared to go from this sweet little boy to this damaged little boy?
Oh, yeah. Enough of this crying bull crap.
Yes, sir.
Tall zombie?
Hi. Who's the biggest diva on set?
Chandler?
That was a setup.
Thank you.
Transformers hoodie.
Technically, it's a Transformers shirt and a black hoodie. I don't know what the hoodie has on.
He knows this black hoodie. Okay, for both of you. Yeah. For very first scary movie. For
Me?
Both of you.
Very first?
Yeah.
I mean, the very first movie that scared me was probably Goonies, but...
There you go!
And the boat, he's covered in water, and the skeleton comes out, and he's like, "Woo!" But, I don't know, like, I wasn't ever really allowed to watch horror movies when I was younger, because my parents were assholes. Sorry. I'm a jerk. So like every Halloween when I was like 13, 14, 15, I would get to watch a scary movie, and it ended up being Hellraiser like every year. If the box cover looked awesome, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. So Hellraiser really, I think, was like the first one that I actually watched. But funny story, I never got to watch Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, and so I don't think they're that great. Like I watched them when I was like 20, and I was like, I don't get it. So I'm gonna make my son watch them when he's 8, so that he'll like them. So, yeah, go ahead.
The Happening. That was the first, when I was like, my brother got to see it when he was like 6, and I was, I was going to an audition, and my dad had to take my brother too, and so I was in there for like 2.5 hours. So my dad took my brother to see The Happening when he was like 6. And then I was jealous, and so me and my dad went to go see it.
What was your second horror movie?
Zombieland. Oh. Well, my dad was in that one, so.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was, when Bill Murray got up out of the bed and walked down the hall and stuff, that was my dad.
Dude in the gray shirt. That's awesome. Dude in the gray shirt. You just stop looking back. I'm looking at you. I choose you.
Okay. For the motion picture, which director would you choose to share your creativity?
Steve's not good enough for you. He's got any movies? No one sees movies anymore. TV is where it is at.
Which director would you choose to share your creativity and why?
If I could choose any director like out there ever, like I would go Quentin Tarantino. I don't give a crap what you do. I don't care. Woo! If people hate it, take The Walking Dead and do whatever you want with it, because I would enjoy that. And I wouldn't read the script. I wouldn't go on set. I would just sit at home, and then I'd go to the movies and watch it when it came out. Because I like Quentin Tarantino. Who would you pick, Chandler?
Oh, that's a good question.
All right. M. Night Shyamalan?
Dude in the purple shirt. Yeah.
In the very first episode of The Walking Dead, when Rick was at a gas station, I think it was a gas station, and he killed the little girl, is it going to be like the episode where Shane shaved his head in the very beginning, and then they did it in the last? Are you ever going to touch on that ever later in the series? Like why they were there?
Well, I don't think it's on the DVD, but there was a scene that was cut from the pilot where, because the pilot opens with him arriving at the gas station, walking in, seeing that there's zombies there, or shooting the little girl, and then it's the end. And there was a bunch of scenes shot that ended up being cut out because we were trying to cram it into an hour and a half, because it was actually supposed to be an hour, and Frank shot all this great stuff and they just couldn't edit it down. But one of the things that they cut was there is a scene later on in the episode where it shows him arriving at the gas station and how that fits in with his trip to Atlanta. It's before he goes to the farmhouse and after something that happens before he goes to the farmhouse. I don't remember. And once he shoots the little girl, there's all these scenes of zombies like in the cars and in the gas station that come alive and they attack him and he has to flee the gas station in a hurry. So there is like that little scene that I don't know why it's not on the DVD if it's not, because it's really cool, but it was something that we just had to lose for time. But it does show like chronologically where that took place. So there's no plans to go back to that scene.
Sonic shirt.
Is any of the comic book characters that are going to come into the show? New ones?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Michonne is someone that is obviously very popular, and people ask about a lot. And I can say that everyone involved in the show recognizes her popularity and also likes her and would like to work her in the show as soon as possible. But introducing a character like that, like it would be nice if that could come from a story thing and be kind of a surprise. And when the time is right, we'll hopefully work her into the show. And I think that there are plans to do that, but I can't say like when that would be or what, because I don't know. I'm a jerk.
All right. Last question is going to you in the sunglasses. Robert's going to do a signing at our booth around 3. So if you have any other questions, you can ask them there. Go.
Make it good.
Okay, yeah.
Make it good.
We all know already. We figured out that Robert only gets hate mail. So I'm curious how much fan mail you get a week, and do you have enough time to read any of it? And also, I already talked to you about how they were not able to let you shoot a gun on the show because you're only 12. Will that ever happen, or do you have to be 18? Because I didn't get that far.
Well, your first question was like, yeah, I do get a lot. I get like 10 pieces per week. It's not that much, but it usually takes like an hour. Do you have to do it?
Exaggerate, man.
But it's not that bad. I mean, I get fan mail from like all over the world. I got one. I don't even remember. It was somewhere on the other side of the world.
Madagascar.
It's in Madagascar. But yeah, I mean, I get fan mail from all over the place. Like some from Canada, Mexico, and some from. One was even from China.
China? What? That was his China all over. We'll get you out of here. Don't worry.
All right. Well, yeah, I got one from China, which is pretty cool. And then,
And what was the other question?
Gun. Okay.
Oh.
Gun. I have to. Yeah. Well, when we were filming the second episode, or the sixth episode, with the revolver was like a party favor kind of thing. It was like a tiny little cap gun that was originally green and orange that they spray painted black.
Green and orange.
All right. Well, yeah.
Yeah, we should probably wrap things up. But Chandler is going to be at a booth on the floor as well, doing autographs and signing photos and taking photos. And where we at? Where we at? 302? Pop Culture Paradise? 302? Absolutely. So do swing by there and harass him and be mean to him and just get him back for what he's done up here. But yeah, and then by all means come see me too. Please. Thanks for coming out. And thank you so much for watching the show, and hopefully leave a comment, and we really appreciate it.